What's up? It's your boy Carson on here once again. Now you finna hear the truth behind the Too Short MC Pooh and the Luniz beef. Now people gonna go, who? And they finna start typing it in, Googling it, trying to see who these people are. In the early 90s, when Too Short first came up with him, Ant Banks, and everybody else in the game, when he first blew, when Short Dog's in the house, when Life is Too Short, that's when he first blew up. Shorty the Mac didn't really do too much noise on the global scale as far as the United States is concerned. But when Shorty the Pimp, before all that stuff came out, I mean, Short Dog in the House and Life is Too Short blew up. Too Short was the biggest name, one of the biggest names in rap. Not just Oakland, but he put the Oakland and the Bay on the map. So all these opportunities were open to other rappers in the Oakland community. So it paved the way for artists to get signed and get money in their pockets. And meanwhile, artist that was already on Jive Records too, named Pooh-Man, was there. And him and Ant Banks clicked, because Ant Banks is putting everything together. So when they were working on Short Dogs in the House, at that time, it was a rumor that Too Short had got shot in the head and was dead. So a lot of people, there was no internet to clear up the rumor. You would have to wait about a month to find out in a magazine, was it true or not? Or if it came on Yo MTV Raps and you ain't seen nothing about it. So you didn't know if it was true or not. So when the album came out, the fact that Too Short actually addressed the rumor on the Short Dog in the House album, everybody was like, wow, okay, well, it did get back to him. He's alive, he was alive, and all this stuff. So when he addressed that, everything was cool. But what people didn't know is that he had some writers helping him on the album. He had this new guy that wrote Short But Funky for him. He had another guy write another song. And most of the beats, Ant Bank let Pooh-Man, who was a rapper, and he made beats, work on the album. Then he worked on Ant Banks' album. The first one, now I don't think Sitting on Something Fat. I don't know. He might have worked on some of that too. I don't know. But what happened was, and people are going to be like, who's Pooh-Man? You seen him in Menace to Society. He was the guy sitting down with Chauncey going, man, you ought to watch this fight, man. This is like when Kane was whooping your ass. That's Pooh-Man. I don't want to hear nothing about Kane. Man, this dude getting whooped just like you got whooped the other night. Everybody remember that scene, but that's who Pooh-Man is. So after this conflict, they started talking about money. And the conflict with Ant Banks is like, dude, you ain't getting your money. He's like, man, that's when he learned the business of it. Ant Banks is getting the residual money because he had credits. He got some money in his pocket. And then that's gone. He got nothing else coming. But once he started learning the business, he's like, man, y'all didn't even put me down for the credits. So, he stopped dealing with Ant Banks and started talking greasy about him and talking about he want his money, and you know how that goes. So now he got a crew of dudes he roll with, and so do Too Short. So it's conflict within the clique. They broke off and they making diss records, and Too Short come out with his album, because the problem really wasn't with Too Short. The problem was with Ant Banks. But Too Short, it was his album. So Short gets up there and made the song Get In Where You Fit In. He named the album Get In Where You Fit In. And he just starts going in on Pooh-Man. We took all your monies and all your songs, done you like a trick and then sent your ass home. One punk came and went, had to find a hoe, but I'm still a pimp. MC Lawrence, the fat gangster, would have never been none without the badass bankster. Now you gonna play on out. Had to put his fat foot in his mouth. Quick to say you sorry when you funny. Y'all can have him cause they just don't want him. He tell a lie like every other minute. I'm like Benny. I ain't in it. Since Bank said you can't have no more fun. Get in where you fit in, punk. Man, I swear, East Oakland. There ain't no place in the world like it. But after this was a major problem. Because Pooh-Man comes out and starts dissing them back on record. Start dissing Too Short and even Spice One. And Spice One came back and Spice is like, I ain't had nothing to do with it. And you dissing me? Alright. Because Spice had ran up on him because he was talking reckless about him and he saw him like at a Walgreens spot. And he was like, what you want to do? And he was like, man, ain't got nothing to do with you. We all good, man. Then he comes out and drop a diss song on him. So, Spice One used the Menace to Society part with the clip. When, you know you done fucked up, don't you? You know you done fucked up. You know you done fucked up, don't you? And he named the song that. And it's one of the best diss records I've heard. So if you go get that, listen to Spice One, you know you done fucked up, don't you? He talking about Pooh-Man. Man, it is like one of the best I've heard somebody lyrically getting assaulted. And Spice One did it. Now, after this song, it turned from that basically to the streets. And Spice wasn't really trying to bring it to him like that, but it was a lot of conflict in the streets at that time. And Short was telling Spice, like, man, dude, like, I got these deals coming up, and, you know, there's too much, you know, this violence that was going on in the streets with our crew and a crew, and people shooting at each other and all that, and the cops is coming to my crib. You know, it's getting to be hectic. And then Short Dog was at the studio, and I guess some people that they don't even know if they was DJ Pooh people came up and put a gun on Spice One, Too Short, and was like, yeah, now what's up? What's up now, huh? Yeah, what's up? What's up? And they were like, dude, we just coming out the studio, we making some songs, man. So he's like, man, you see, and that's when Too Short was telling him, man, see, I'm finna get out of here. You know, it was just crazy. And that's when he first brought it up, that he was going to leave. And then by this time, this Oakland group, you know, with Drew Down and Yuckmouth and all these guys, they were coming up in the smoking era. And that's when the early 90s was, because of the Chronic and Snoop. And it came out, it's become the smoke era, where everybody getting high and smoking, and every song's about it. And they working on their album, and then they got the song that just went crazy, is I Got Five on it. That song became a monster, you know. So they allowed to go places with Too Short and everybody else, and Scarface and them, you know, Jay Prince and all them, they all clicking together. So they were tight because they was from Oakland. Spice is cool with them, everybody cool with them. But what happened was, nobody really speaks on it, it was a couple of NBA players who had some stuff stolen from them. Things came up missing. It was Short's party. You know what I'm saying? So Short gonna be held responsible. Nobody gonna say, oh, the Luniz did it or somebody in their crew did it. But it came back to the information that the Luniz hit them up. The Luniz did this, the Luniz did that, so Short kind of kept his distance from him after that. But then he was already planning a move to Atlanta because he was getting too hot with cops and violence. So when he made his transition and moved to Atlanta, he didn't get on the remix of I Got Five on it or any of that stuff. And he was like basically branching himself away from that. And they wanted everybody on the Bay on it, and they need Short on it. So Short had moved away, and they was like, oh man, he's just a player hater, like all the rumors coming back too Short saying y'all robbed his friends, and they was like, oh man, he's a player hater. And then they was like, yeah, that's why Oakland, they ran you up out the Bay. So they put that on the record, and that's when he felt a certain way, like, oh, okay. And it was just a lot of beef with their manager who was going around creating the atmosphere, like, yeah, they ran Too Short up out of Oakland. And that wasn't even the case. He just left because it was too much press he was getting from the beef he had prior to this. And cops coming to him asking him questions. And he's like, man, look, I'm going there. It's getting too crazy. But the Luniz had nothing to do with that. They basically taking credit for a beef they had no part in. So, now not to say they didn't roll deep. They did. But this had nothing to do with them as the reason why he left. So the manager, Chris, is just talking reckless. And when they had the K-Mel, that's like the biggest Bay Area radio show there is. K-Mel normally had a fest. They had Oakland artists. They had E40. And everybody getting ready to do their joints, close the show out. Too Short wasn't even on the bill. So what happened was Short's crew went and beat up on the Luniz manager, Chris. They saw him there. They shut down the whole event. The Isley Brothers, E40, everybody supposed to perform and close the event out. Now they put the event and the radio station like on probation as far as the fest. Now East Oakland artists who was supposed to come out and get their shine in front of everybody, they didn't get to perform. It was a bad eye for Too Short at that time. And Nate K-Mel's like, we banning your songs. No matter how popular you get, you are never playing Too Short records on K-Mel ever again. And it was a big mess. He even made a song, Too Short did, talking about K-Mel, how they tried to come at him and how they trying to create beef with people and going around starting and instigating the rumor that I'm saying the Luniz did this and this. They instigating the drama. So he said, when you got a radio station from the Bay that's instigating all this stuff, this is what it's going to cause a lot of conflict and a lot of people fighting. Short ain't had nothing to do with it. He's like, they trying to blame me for I didn't want E40 and them to perform. And he's like, they creating all this stuff on the radio show. He's like, and that's not even the truth. So he went out there and tried to clear it up. But what's his name? Who knows it? And Sway was like, look, I'm going to talk to both of them, and I'm going to get them to squash this beef and get K-Mel, the manager, get Michelle in there. Everybody went there. They talked everything out. Nobody got killed. Everything was lovely. Everybody's cool now to this day. So that's the great thing that came out of this, is that in the end, everybody was able to talk, get it over with a simple conversation, like men. And that's the blessing of this. So I'm out.